Okay. Sorry. Yes. Okay. We're ready. We can start. This is my favorite part about summer. Everyone gets to travel, go do fun stuff. Or you're like, I just travel all the time to cool places, Allison. You can ask me more than once a year. Maybe I'll have to start asking you guys more often because this is where I get vacation ideas. I talk to, and if not to spoil anything, next month, our guest expert also travels to like some really incredible places. And that might be half of our interview, and I need you all to just be okay that we're going to talk about really cool places and some really cool stuff next month. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So first off, welcome back, everybody. I hope you had an incredible summer. And I'm just so excited to get into this book, Silent Earth. For those of you who are returning, welcome. For those of you who are new and maybe watching us on our live stream, welcome in. Welcome into Books, Booze, and Brains. And also, I always try to give a huge shout out, obviously, to Indiana Sciences, to Rufus, Indiana Humanities, who are partners who help put this on, and then of course Strangebird, which if you are on the live stream and you've not visited Strangebird, come out. The food is good, the drinks are great, and if you come join us on the last Tuesday of the month, you will find that there's some nice camaraderie and some nice conversations to be had. So enough with the introductions. You guys, you're not ready. This book was so much fun to read. And also, I feel like anytime we get into environmental books or books that touch on the environment, it can get a little sad and depressing a little bit. But I feel like there's a lot of really cool points that we get to talk to our wonderful guest expert about. And obviously, nobody knows you quite like you do. So go ahead and introduce yourself to us and tell us a little bit about your background and your story into entomology.
Hello, guys. How are you? My name is Omar Shalabi. I'm originally half Egyptian, half Italian. Okay, so my dad is Egyptian, my mom is Italian. I came from Egypt and I went directly to Honolulu, Hawaii. Okay, so I stayed there. So you could imagine it was a little bit shock for me when I moved to Muncie, Indiana, and teach at Ball State. Okay, so I'm not yet used to the cold. So but I love working with insects. I'm originally a forensic entomologist.
Ooh.
Which deals with crime scene investigations, okay, and using bugs in detecting the time of death and the way of death. And also having a part-time, not a part-time, but a side job, which is called maggot therapy. We use maggots for diabetic and venous ulcers treatment. Okay, so I guess one of the parts that it's missing in the book, that the parts that neglecting a bit flies and how flies are so useful in our life. So this is me. I've been here in Indiana for the past 2 years. I just arrived 2024, August. And I'm searching for the flies. But maybe I'm specialized more in flies and maggots and beetles and things, not the beautiful kind of flies like butterflies and things. So, and this is one of the things why there is a little bit, in the conservation parts of insects related to these parts, because they don't look nice. Okay, so people sometimes neglect, they are so harmful, they are so causing disease, they are terrible things for us. So I hope after this meeting, I'll change the mentality a bit, so you can accept insects without any irritation a bit.
So should we stop calling them bugs? I felt that was literally, as I read this book, I realized I kept saying, oh, I'm reading a book about bugs. Is that like derogatory? Is that like a derogatory term towards an insect to call it a bug?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's the point is bugs are insects, but not all insects are bugs.
Not all insects are bugs. Okay.
Okay, so any small creatures, they call it bugs. So whether it's a spider, whether it's a flea, whether it's a mosquito, whether it's anything, they call it a bug. But by the way, there's a group of insects are called bugs. So not all insects are called bugs. Like the bed bug that hit us when we're sleeping, that's a bug. Okay, yeah. The assassin bug, it's a bug. Okay, There's the water giant water giant bug. It's a bug, but cicadas are bugs, but not all insects are bugs.
Okay.
So they have a certain feature in their wings, so that's why they call it
Oh.
hemiptera, which is half wings. Yeah.
Okay, so we've all been saying it wrong. We're mischaracterizing the real bugs.
Yeah, it's just like it's so sad, okay,
Oh.
for the insect community to be called bugs all the time. So, but at least, sometimes we say there's a bug there, we accept it, but in scientific field, a bug is a different type of insects from all other insects. So that's why we say bugs are insects, but not all insects are bugs.
Why do you think public perception of insects is so negative? Or maybe so polarized? Because you're right. There's the, oh, butterflies are so pretty, and then ew, flies are disgusting.
Yeah,
There's really no in between.
This is, I guess, a charismatic bias. Okay, in the way that they don't look beautiful, they don't have nice furs, they don't look nice, so you can protect it like the pandas and like different things that you see nice around you. In other way, like they bite you, they come on your food, they cause disease, they cause, so nobody will think them in a straight that they are really useful in our life. So it's not the matter that we cannot live without insects. It's like the matter, how do you want to live in this life? It's like the food web, the decomposition. Like I'm working in forensic entomology. Like I could imagine, like if a dead body is there, who will eat that flesh? Bacteria have a part in it, but even if you're buried, if your crime scene investigation, anybody on the field is thrown, insects will come and lay eggs, and the maggots, which is the larvae, will vanish or will eat all the flesh. It's one of the, not devastating, but one of the most important decomposers in our life. So if we don't have these creatures, you will smell everything bad around you. There is nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, so it's very important. Other than what you think about pollination, of course, of bees and things and like this. Why we conserve bees? Because we eat honey, they are nice, they pollinate. But why we don't look so seriously towards maggots? Because the perception towards maggots is something like, no way, no way.
Yeah, it's gross. It's like
It's
gross.
gross.
Yeah,
It's gross, yeah.
but they're so needed. So why do you think? So a lot of this book comes back to conservation, right? And I have to be honest. We've read other books about conservation. We've never really touched on insects. Are insects included in the conservation conversation, or are they kind of a separate thing and like you have to deal with that? The rest of us are getting the pandas and the cute cats and the stuff that people ooh and ah.
Sometimes they are included, but indirectly with the habitat conservations. We could conserve habitats to get conservation for dragonflies or certain beetles. But like I said, the what's the name of the butterfly? It's so famous in Muncie here. The
monarchs.
The monarchs, okay, because it's beautiful and it's supposed it's nice, so they conserve this certain kind of beetles, rhinoceros, but all the other things, all the other creatures, the small one, because what I said, it's like charismatic bias and disease. Why do I want to conserve something that will cause me disease or will bite me every night? Why do I keep it living?
Yeah.
So I guess this is one of the conceptions, like, or the perceptions of people, how they don't think straightforward. But there is some conservations.
Okay.
To and also the climate change, all of the things that keep insects going. But believe me, insects must be there, so we can find food for birds. We could get decomposed body eradicated from the environment, not to get bad things. Also, insects are very important to detect pollution in an area. We could detect lead, mercury, many things inside it if we want to detect anything in the area. So it's so fascinating to deal with insects, and it have different fields of working like you cannot. And also, it's very important part. Many scientific entomologists, and entomologists mean the study of insects. That's the scientific words for it. Many entomologists say there's a lot of species of insects that we didn't know about it. So why do we conserve something we still don't know? What's the numbers? What's the things? I'm like this.
Yeah.
But again, it's many factors dealing with this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'm curious about how your perception of the book, it really focuses on agriculture. Do you think agriculture research, plant research, and insect research go hand in hand?
Yeah, but it's like when we talk about only agriculture, we're making the field so tiny because it's not only insects and plants.
Yeah.
It's like we have forensic investigation through insects. We have dealing with diabetic and venous ulcers through magotherapy. We have biology of flies. We have many, 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 many fields that interest people. We have the field with the biggest one, which is the taxonomy of flies. Like every day they are identifying new species. So it's like insects you could find. It's the biggest group of animals around us.
Yeah.
It's almost 95% are insects, ranging from the very tiny insects to the rhinoceros beetles, which usually they put it on the temples of the pharaoh's temples. They draw it. It was protecting the death. Okay, this is how they believe in that. So it's many things. It's many things. So we have to pay attention to everything. But I don't know how. I usually go to my students like I'm letting them love the insects, not fear of it. So maybe my field will let people like going into crime scene stimulation, and they let them see insects and how the maggots feeds on the dead body. Sorry, I'm talking about the maggots like you're eating. Are you eating? Okay, so, and this is the thing. So it's just they don't want to approach the dead body, but then when they use every day, they come and yes, there's a little bit smell, but how to collect specimens, how to see these creatures do with the dead body, they change their mentality step by step.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's one of the fascinating creatures. I love them not because of I'm a zoologist, so I could have been specialized in sharks, pandas, bears, anything, but I went to these small creatures because they are so diverse and so nice. Yeah.
So this takes us to our first turn and talk, which if you have been with us, you're familiar. But if you're new, we'll take a few minutes and basically talk at your table, whether they're friends or new friends who you just haven't gotten to know yet. And, this takes me to the entirety, I guess, of when this book, talks about I think in a very interesting way, talks about scientific studies. A lot of the books that we've read just kind of will like reference them. But the author really is careful to talk about the limitations of these studies and, like really what they were looking at, and even talking about his own studies and saying, look, this is where these are the questions we can't answer with this data. Here's what we can answer with this data. So I'm curious what you all think about the way that the author talked about the science and the studies done in this book, maybe compared to other books you've read, whether that's in this book club or not. And do they make you maybe trust saying because he's, really being transparent about the limitations, or does it make you kind of doubt his conclusions because, well, there's a limitation and you're telling me that's not what it says, so what can I trust anymore? Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to think about this. So I'd love to give you guys like 5 minutes, and then for the live stream, we'll continue to talk about this, and we can come back and talk about science.
So
That's okay.
it's just he lets people pay attention to this small creature,
Yeah.
to insects, which people fear of. So I guess it's a good book. So I never heard about the author before. So it's one of the things that keep me focused and like we make people read about insects, not in like a funny way or a feel way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, what did you think about the author's? You know, well, towards the end of the book, he says like I was writing science, I was giving lectures, and I just felt like I wasn't having the impact. So I wrote a book,
Mhm.
and I don't even know if that works. So, what do you think about like this venue, like a book, as an avenue to get people interested?
It's one of the best avenues
Yeah.
other than taking a class in entomology, but this is one of the people that people loves to read about this. But I don't know how much sold of this book.
It's okay. I
I
mean,
mean, I'm trying to figure out that people go to buy something
Yeah.
about the decline of insects or not.
yeah.
So, but it's a very good track to let people think about these creatures, because I guess they have the idea a long time ago that away from the decline of insects numbers, but I mean when you go on drive and you have the windshield going and you're killing a lot of insects, you know,
Yeah.
like, and people think, oh, the number of insects is declining when we're driving. It's not the case, because it depends where you drive your car.
It's so true.
Yeah, at night or in the morning or like this. But in all time, insects are huge numbers, and decline is a very difficult word to state. There is
Interesting.
no
Okay.
like a real decline. Like if we wake up tomorrow and we didn't find roaches in our house and like this we cannot say a decline. They're available everywhere.
Yeah.
They will they will
They-
come.
They're
Yeah,
certainly everywhere.
yeah, yeah. So
I mean, do you think that so when people go, "Oh, my windshield's not covered in bugs anymore," that's not a sign that like something's wrong or something's bad? Like we shouldn't be concerned, I guess. By
no,
that?
not
Not
the
necessarily.
windshield thing. The the memory about the windshield, if there is no insects, like the insects are decline. But when if we want to see insect decline, like usually we see it in certain seasons, like if there is no insects coming around a light bulb at night, there is no a lot of insects.
Yeah.
This could give us a hint or something.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, like this is something because they come towards light.
Yeah.
But on windshields, like I said, we could travel the car in any place. It depends. It depends on the season. It depends on the insects in the
That's
environment.
true.
It depends
That's
of
true.
many things around us. So
Yeah.
light bulbs are one of the things that, or in aquatic insects, like if we're collecting aquatic insects in water.
Yeah.
So maybe there's pollution. Maybe there's something. There's no, like like certain
Yeah.
insects have their stages, like in water,
Mhm.
and the other
Yeah.
stage on land, like a mosquito,
Yeah.
a mayfly.
Yeah.
Thing. So if you don't find the stages, the immature stages, maybe could show a bit
Okay.
of decline again in a certain area.
Yeah.
But it will give an indication.
So it's gotta be the right situation. It's not carte blanche.
Exactly.
They're not on my windshield, so all the insects are dying.
Yeah. So
Interesting. So can you just like set up a light?
No
and
fleas on cats. Like if cats go out on like this, also there's a decline. So no fleas on dogs. This is certain things you could.
I would have never thought of that.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not only a clean environment. No, where's the fleas goes, because this is the place where they feed.
Yeah. So
Right?
then where do they if they're not
Yeah,
yeah, you're like, oh, I don't have to put on my flea tick meds. They're not
Exactly.
getting fleas.
exactly.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Something's happening.
So certain things, yeah, it's an
I would
indication.
have never thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Because you would be like, oh, that's great. I would have never
Exactly.
thought that maybe that's a sign something's wrong.
Exactly.
So the windshield test is maybe the worst.
Oh yeah,
like-
it's the like the worst thing, because it's not an indication for anything, for
Yeah.
anything like serious, for a decline or something. So
But is it like the most universal one? Well, no, I guess a light outside, like a light on your house or your apartment complex. That's pretty universal too.
Yeah, it's universal, but it's like usually they are grabbed towards light. But if you're seeing this summer, like you have a light bulb in front of your house and like this, and you know this is the insect season. that
Yeah.
and all of a sudden there's few.
Yeah.
So this
That's
will be
bad.
an indication for something.
Okay.
Again, in
Uh-oh.
a certain environment. in a
Uh-oh.
certain area.
That I listen. I'm gonna have to start paying attention to my art. I'm gonna. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking out. I'm gonna look like a crazy lady
Yeah.
looking out my window at the little light in my yard.
But you have to accept insects. Like think of them. Does people concentrate on the decline, or they don't care about the decline, or they are happy by there's no insect, like we said, there's no fleas on a cat or a dog or a human beings. Oh, thanks God. But do they think at the same time this is a decline in fleas population?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh my god.
Right?
Well, I would have. I never thought. Oh my god.
No, yeah.
Would have never thought of that. But you're so right.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
So that's when it gets scary. Ooh, I don't like that.
It's like also invasive species that comes to us and things. This is another idea, like custom control and things. But so that's why insects, this field, have a lot of branches to study through genes and through gene flows and through mixing the genes of invasive species with the local ones, and so it's like a lot of things. Genetic drifts and
could be good or bad.
Buildings, building roads. It could do fragmentations of many parts.
Yeah.
So it could cause the gene flow to stop, but with a little bit decline.
Yeah.
But
if it makes the more resilient, like, is that kind of a good? I mean,
but the point to start this, how people are okay with insects, and then they will think about these things, the numbers about high or not,
or even native or invasive.
Yeah.
Because especially for insects, who's thinking of that?
Yeah.
Other than the mosquitoes, those are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Those tiger mosquitoes are rough.
Yeah. It's like, and it depends on the species of mosquitoes. Like mosquitoes in Africa, like in South Africa. That's why you don't have malaria here.
Yeah.
Because of the genus itself, the Anophelines ones. Yeah. So it's like we have Culex, the species which here in the States, and we have Anopheline species, but they are not carriers for malaria. But they are carriers for West Nile virus, Zika virus, things. Many things.
Yeah. Gosh. Okay. Oh God, that's loud. Sorry. Hi everyone. Okay, so coming back to our discussion about, I guess, how the author really talked about the science and the studies in this book. I thought it was different from how other authors in other like pop sci books have kind of approached research. What did you all think about this and how he talked about it? Did you appreciate it? I kind of liked it. If I'm going to be honest, like how transparent, even about his own work. But I'm curious if anyone else felt differently or if everyone kind of liked that. I thought it was different. Yeah.
I really liked it. So, as someone in the health field that promotes whole food diets and things like that, we know that studies have to be evaluated closely.
Oh, yeah.
The components that make up the study and the number of people in the studies and things like that. So we're used to looking more closely at those studies.
That's a great point.
And anybody can cherry pick from a study and support whatever they want, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be really considerate of how that study was done. So I appreciated how he evaluated those.
That's a great comparison to the nutrition field, just broadly, nutrition research. Yeah, how you really have to be so careful with the study population. How many people were included? What exactly did you look at? And how did you measure it? Is that actually really what that measurement is saying? Yeah, we think about, you're right, with like like health influencers. You really think about that and you're critical of that. But then if I have to be honest, if this author hadn't talked through those limitations and done that, I would have bought it at face value. I would not have thought so. I wouldn't have had a second thought. Why would an entomologist lie to me about the conclusions of this research? I really liked it. So that's a great comparison and a great like frame of reference. Yeah.
I was depressed that for so many of the questions he asked, there were no studies that could answer them.
There were no studies yet to answer the questions. Yeah.
Speculated really to address a lot of the issues
A lot of speculation.
that were important, which was, I think he tried to make everybody has their biases, so
That's true. And he was honest about his biases too. He said, hey, which it's hard not to be when that's, your field of work. But that's a great, and that you're right. That is a little depressing. Like, hey, this would be really valuable. No one's done it. So you're training them, right? These are all students in your labs and.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to mention something about the diet thing. Do you know, guys, that they are using certain insects now as a food?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like maggots, and even in certain countries, they are eating maggots. Maybe I'm talking a bit about maggots, but they are using it as crackers,
Ooh.
and it's so tasty, like chips and
Okay.
things like that. Yeah, so it's protein at the end.
At the end of the
So,
day, it's
At
protein.
the end of the day, yeah. And
You know what?
they are using it for many, like the cows and many animals as an
Oh.
extra
Agriculture
kind,
feed.
agriculture food. Yeah.
Yeah.
sorry, but I spent some time in China and India, and I've eaten lots of different insects over there, and none of them are any good unless you deep fry them.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But certain parts, like they eat frog, snails, raw ones. And I've been in Lebanon, like it's one of the Middle Eastern countries. They eat snails, like the snails, raw with lemon, and they eat it.
Ooh, raw.
They eat liver, chicken liver, raw. So raw chicken liver.
That
It
might
wasn't
be-
so tasty for me. They just put like a piece of, a little bit of mint and pepper in a piece of bread. And they said, Omar, you will love it. And they put it in my mouth, and it was a disaster for me. So taste-wise.
Okay.
Taste-wise. So, yeah, crackers as maggots and crickets. Usually, also grasshoppers, they use the hind leg of it because it's full of muscles. It tastes like shrimp. This was so
No
tasty.
way.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in a salad, it will taste good.
Now, hold on. Covered in, again, deep fried, covered in dressing. This is Indiana, baby. We could make anything happen. That'll be at the state fair. State fair plug. Next year, we're seeing it.
Yeah. But if they give it in a plate, put it in front of you in a plate, and you don't know what's this. This
You
is
wouldn't
shrimp
know.
salad. Okay, I guess you would love it.
You know what? My mom, that dropped something on the floor when I was little. My mom would go, it's extra protein. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Get a little dirt, get a couple bugs. It's extra proteins. You know what? Maybe my mom was just on that train decades earlier.
Yeah.
And you've been here long enough, you know this. We got off topic a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay, because we're gonna bring you in. We're gonna bring you in. We started.
It's part of the field.
It's part of the fun,
Yeah.
right? We like getting into some of the studies, and you bring up a good point. There's a lot that's missing. What was most needed right now in the entomology field? Like, what is the most pressing? Like, this author puts forward a lot of questions, but you mentioned that their focus is very agriculture. It's very, and his other book was about bees, so I have to give him a little grace. He's a bee guy. You get the fly guy, you get the beetle guy, you get the bee guy. This is the bee guy. But like, what do you think broadly is the field really missing? Maybe that the author did or didn't talk about.
I guess the missing part is, like, from my point of view, it's people love the field or love insects in a sense they are important in our life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's important in our life, and then think about their decline or numbers and things like this. But the field needs the book needs that people that get acquainted with insects in a certain way by reading that book. This was an interesting book to make the people like a bit concentrate on these small creatures, and this is a very important thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and we could get used to be around insects, not like run away from them. That's a step forward. Not around mosquitoes. I mean, not around certain things, but certain that flies could come and go. Mosquitoes, I know it bite, but if we know how to protect ourselves from mosquitoes and things, we could get normal. But the perception of the general, it's insects need to be eradicated.
Yeah.
This is I want to to change this perception in a certain, so we can talk later about the decline or no decline or things like this. I was just talking with Allison here in the break. Yeah. So like the windshield thing in the car, when you go to a drive and all the windshield with the water, insects are dying over the glass. So this is not a decline for insects at all. I was talking about if you're thinking about decline more, maybe I gave an example. If you don't find fleas on your cats or on your dogs at home, I know you will be happy. There's no fleas and you got the cooler one to protect, but this is a decline. If you find your cat without fleas, because where did the fleas go is because this is the place where the fleas feed and survive. So if there is no fleas on your cat, it's not automatically, oh, we're living in a clean neighborhood, because fleas could come from anywhere, on us, on cats, on dogs, on rats, on anything. Yeah. So will be an indication for a decline. Yeah. If you have a light bulb at summer season, at night, you usually see a lot of flies gathering, gnats and things. If you see little bit flies on this is considered a decline in insects. So, but again, it's like depending on the place where you live, in a desert, in an urban area, in a place where you like this. We will never get rid of roaches, for example.
So that's real.
Yeah,
they will outlive us all.
Yeah, that's why their name are Periplaneta americana, which the name, even the scientific name of that Latin name, Periplaneta, which is around the planet. And Americana, it's the creatures that originated in the States and keep touring but through boats, through driving cars, through anything. So you will find Periplaneta americana in Muncie and in Alexandria, Egypt, where I live.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm talking about the big brownish roach, because there are smallest ones, which is called Blatella germanica, which is a German cockroach. So they have different nationalities and different locations. So we have to know the difference between them. So cockroaches will be around. So yeah. And usually if you have a big cockroach coming into your house, will not inhabit the house. It's coming from outside. It will go to the outside. So it will be okay to see a roach. Just open the window and let it go, not run out with a slipper and
let him
and splash it on the wall. Yeah.
So I should be thanking my husband for never killing the insect. He always takes them outside. He always makes sure to let them free.
Yeah.
Okay. He's
like
doing
you
a
do
service.
With many things.
Yeah. Yeah.
With fish, sometimes when you go fishing, sometimes you throw the fish again into the water. So with dogs, like you pet dogs, you pet cats. Why? I don't ask you to pet insects, but just to let them free.
Yeah. Should we start? I look at the cockroach. I pet him before I let him out.
Some people pet roaches.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well then maybe I should. Okay. Maybe I'll think. Maybe not. So then, so tonight when I come home, I'm going to sit in my parked car and I'm going to turn off all the lights except for my porch light. And I'm going to watch. And I have to, that's like the health of my neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
It depends on the seedings, especially in warm weather. There
Mhm.
must be a lot of insects around any light bulbs.
Yeah. So
Coming,
do you
yeah.
think generally we are in an insect decline? And I say we, I just like broadly, like the authors really makes it seem like we're on the precipice of I mean, it's called like averting the insect apocalypse. I mean, are we really at the precipice of an apocalypse?
maybe in certain areas, maybe in certain environments, maybe in
Oh.
certain countries.
Okay.
Maybe with the climate change, maybe because insects. I don't know if you guys that insects grow not like a human being. Like insects depend on the outside temperature to grow. Like
Okay.
it cannot control the temperature from inside.
Oh,
If
yeah.
we feel the heat, we sweat. They don't have the ability to do so. So
Yeah.
it's just they are like cold-blooded creatures. When the temperature is very high, they grow fast. When the temperature is cold, they grow slowly and sometimes hibernate. So
Okay.
with the climate change, the difference, the zone of tolerance for any insect could change because if it's so die, or if it's so cold, they could die also. So it's like we could indicate there is a bit of a decline, but it depends on the area, on the is it polluted or not. Is we have the building are built inside an park, or roads are building constructions,
Yeah.
things that separates habitats, so they stop mating.
Yeah.
Some invasive species, some invasive fruits. I guess there is a decline, but not as much as we could talk about whales, like example. There is, but they are huge numbers, and we must protect them in a certain way.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit decline, but I cannot say it's like devastating.
Yeah.
It's all around us.
Yeah. So what do you think between, you talked about the effects of climate change, you talked about pollutants. Are these individually having, is it the combined, all of these happening at once is what is having the biggest impact on the insect population?
Pollution, climate change, many things could affect insects' internal physiology. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and even I noticed one example in the like in crime scene investigation when I was working. Like many cases were died from having meth or ice and fentanyl. Okay, getting overdose, and we use insects in crime scene investigation. So if a body is full, because when a tissue is dead from overdose, the tissue of the body is full of that toxin. Okay, when insects feed on it, it's so hilarious and funny. Like
Oh God.
meth is like I had to study this because meth will make us more hyper.
Yeah.
Fentanyl will.
I'll take
make
your word
us-
for it.
Okay, I didn't try it. I'm just I'm just dealing with insects with that.
Yeah.
So we did some experiments. So it's the
Oh.
same thing. Like we found that insects grow more fast when they feed on a body dead with meth.
Oh.
So I mean, it grow fast means like if it takes a stage from the egg to the adult stage like 8 days,
Yeah.
it could take 6 days. So it shortened the time.
That's
the
a
same thing
lot.
with fentanyl. It's a depressant.
It
It,
slows
makes
it
you
down.
quiet and
Yeah.
relaxed. It will elongate the period of the thing. So
Oh.
this is an indication for us what's happening, what's in the body there. Of course, we have to detect the type of meth in the larvae and the type of fentanyl. So, and many street drugs now are mixed of. This is how I ask police guys and FBI's and like this to know what's the cases here in Indiana. Like they mix meth with fentanyl with cocaine and things, and they sell it to kids and like this in as street drugs. So it's so deadly. Fentanyl by itself, it's so deadly. Okay, because it affects some of the part of the brain, which is the gray matter. So yeah, it's so deadly. So I will not say there's a decline by eating on dead people that having overdose, but I mean finding dead bodies like you could find in parks and things on like this with
Yeah.
overdose. some insects could be affected by the drugs inside it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you have a dead body with the maggots and everything like that, and you don't find the dead body, so the maggots are leaving the dead bodies and going out, is that affecting the maggots as they
Continue to
develop.
Yeah.
To develop. The maggots
That's
will.
a good question.
Yeah, that's a good one. The maggots will feed on the dead body until
it's gone?
the hunger is stopped.
So what happens to the maggots?
After the maggots, they leave the dead body away and go to the side and they pupate. They burrow on the soil and they pupate.
Right.
Okay. Into the larvae will be pupate inside a cocoon, and then this cocoon will hatch into the new baby fly.
Right, so that's what I'm wondering, is anybody testing those things to see?
I did.
You did?
Yeah. I did. The interesting part that if a maggot, while feeding on a dead body on cocaine or fentanyl or something, the concentration of this drug inside the body of the maggot will be moved to the pupae, will move to the newly adult coming
Oh my
in.
God, it stays with them?
It stay there through a process of called bioaccumulation. It gives us an indication that we could, even if we find an empty pupae beside
It's not in there.
it's, we could grind it and take it to the lab and we could find the traces of this drug.
So does that have long-term effects? Should we be concerned that all of our flies are on drugs or on street drugs? If a fly comes into the house, I'm like, oh, he's on crack. I mean, what?
It's very, very useful in our work, but it eliminates the drug later on.
Oh,
in
okay,
the
okay.
next generation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
So this
still,
isn't generationally accumulated.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but
because they made the Cocaine Bear movie. Nobody's made cocaine like maggots. So I think there's an I don't know if we should call like Spielberg, Nolan. I mean, we got.
we hope, yeah.
I think we found our next movie. Yeah.
But doesn't that have to relate to like chemicals that we put on plants and the insects feed on?
Of course, this will affect insects, like insecticides, like whatever the kind of pesticides. And this is one of the things that we have to a little bit, like all the pesticides it have a side effect.
Yeah.
Okay, insecticides, whether or biological control or something like this, but using biological controls, man-made traps without chemicals and like this will stop a bit if you think about the decline, because sometimes when we put insecticides over plants, it affects the nervous system of the insect itself. It will affect the pest and other insects also coming, so it will kill most of them. So I guess biological control using bacteria or using parasitic wasps like predators, release some predators, or something we call sterile insect techniques, like we stop the mating a bit to stop this invasion for certain plants. Will be less toxic for the insects and will keep a number, but still their number are huge.
Yeah. I've not heard of bacteria. That's interesting.
Yeah, this is one of the biological controls.
The biological controls.
The most successful one is the sterile insects technique. They make the male sterile in the lab and we'll throw them in the field. So the mate, there is no production for offsprings because the male is dry. So we stop the number for that pest that infects this crop.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the most successful. Yeah.
So you're talking about maggots absorbing fentanyl from dead bodies. Could there be insects, mosquitoes, or some other insects that could transfer fentanyl transfer to humans?
Yeah, we did this study. No, it's just,
Okay.
we did this study. It's like, that's why it's missing in that book, the concentration on flies and maggots, because they are the real decomposers. So the decomposers of the body, usually any animal or human body, are maggots and beetles, but mainly the maggots, which is the larvae of flies. So if a mosquito would come on a dead body, the mosquito is looking for blood. It will not find that blood warmth or temperature to suck, because it's a dead body. We change from living to dead, so the insects will perceive us differently. Like we are living people sleeping, mosquito will find us so a beautiful meal for them because our body is warm.
Yeah.
Our body is warm, so it
Still,
inject its
yeah.
saliva and then because it injects saliva and then sucks blood. But when we are dead, we change completely. Our body is cold, our muscles is contracted. So another group of insects, which is the fly, come in to feed them. So no way mosquito will do anything or suck even the chemicals in the body.
Honestly, kind of a relief. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. That was sometimes I feel like this happens at every interview. There's a part where I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking of is, I see more and more people interested in macro photography of insects.
Macro photography of
and how
insects. Okay.
amazing they look.
Oh, that's true.
And really get close up. It's just incredible. So I feel like that's, could have an impact on shifting people's viewpoint.
Shifting perspective on
You're right,
insects,
you're
making it
right.
look cool. 'Cause
But
it
still,
is.
yeah, but still the people will, yeah, I use it with, to see the mouth parts of flies and the mouth parts
Oh.
of things. My dad has his PhD on the mouth parts of the Culex or the Anopheles mosquito, okay, because it differs, the one that transfer malaria from the Zika virus, from the Nile virus. It depends on the species. So my dad was a medical entomologist that deals
Yeah.
with disease, and that's
Oh,
why
that's so
I'm
cool.
in that field.
Yeah.
So yeah, the pictures and the magnifiers, we use them sometimes when try to differentiate about different species. But you're right. I have many books in the lab, like have an atlas of insects around us. But again, the people that goes and look for the insects, they will still looking for beautiful pictures, but they will go home and hold the slipper and crack the roach on the wall.
Well, and doesn't that translate too to like pollinators and the different kind of flowers? And we alter those flowers; they're not able to extract the nutrients from
Mhm.
them anymore because we changed the shape, and they're not able to, with the proboscis and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's this is like getting new species. I mean, but certainly the most thing that stop pollination is using the insecticides and the different. I don't know if you know, like who's the insects that deal with pollination. Like people thinks always about bees, but flies are also pollinators.
Yeah.
Flies that everybody hates, the two-winged insects. So. Yeah, so it's just it's if you were talking about decline, about pollination or decomposition or pollution detection or many things. Again, it depends on the area that we're dealing with,
Yeah.
whether in Muncie, whether in Egypt, whether in Lebanon, whether in desert area, whether in Hawaii. Like it must be preserved, but again. Preserved areas like for whales or for snakes or for kind of bullfrogs or things, I think this is still the charismatic bias. It's still affecting us in dealing with opposing the insects and the creatures.
Yeah.
Certain people that get some scarab beetles like they sell it in Egypt or they sell it in many places. The
Oh,
big beetles
yeah.
that they hang it as chains. Yeah, because it looks nice and big. But nobody will hang a mosquito on his chest, right? So
Probably not.
yeah, so it's many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this nicely takes us into what, the book talks about how important biodiversity is in the insect world, but doesn't really talk about why it's important, just that we need it. So what value is there in having 300 different mosquitoes or beetles or 1,000 different variants of fly? What's the difference between having 1,000 variants and 2 or 3?
Yeah, it's biodiversity. First of all, it's like counting the numbers, the number of the species itself, and the gene flow, the gene change in the insects.
Yeah.
But it's very important to keep the habitat stable so we can make insects clean and preserved. But again, it depends on the environment that we're living in. If it's 1,000 species or 2,000 or 3,000 or 3, still the biodiversity in it, it will not affect it. The same thing will happen, the same thing, whether it's 1,000 in numbers or 3 or 4 or 5, okay? So, but the point is here, if you're talking about like the mosquito species that all around the world, some of them that like if you know, like certain mosquitoes, like the one that transfers malaria, anybody knows where it's not available in the States here? Anybody thinks why we don't have malaria? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's
True.
like why we have West Nile virus and Zika virus, we don't have malaria here, which is the parasite that causes the plasmodium that causes malaria, because the genus itself for the mosquito itself is not here. And the very interesting part that not any mosquito could hold the parasite inside it. Okay, which is the plasmodium, which is the parasite, which causes the malaria
yeah.
infection. So, so all the people that coming from West Africa, South Africa, when they go to a certain country, they must be tested for malaria because they cannot do anything. When they sleep, they got bitten like we're bitten. We're being
Yeah,
bitten
yeah.
here in the by mosquito, but this mosquito itself, it will cause the plasmodium virus and malaria. So, like I said, the number will not affect the environment, will affect the habitat, will affect the range in
Yeah.
numbers. So whether we eradicate again the Anopheles species, which cause malaria, it will be still causing malaria in the south of Africa. If we eradicate Culex here, it will still be causing West virus or Zika virus or whatever.
Yeah.
So again, the number must be, I don't know how to say it in that word, but the number of insects are increasing because we have a lot of species that we didn't know about in everything, whether beetles, whether flies, whether mosquitoes, whether roaches, whether anything. So they are declining from one side and they are increasing from this side. But we cannot live without them.
Yeah.
It's like a food web. It's like many things are like this. Yes, they cause many irritation, they cause many disease, but they can pollinate our flowers, they can finish our dead bodies. There's many, many useful things for them. So yeah, this is...
So, and I'll just make, instead of a turn and talk, we can just do this as like an open discussion. I'm kind of curious for those of you who either listened to the book or read the book, you got to chapter 16 was like the look at what the world could be if we had no insects. That like felt a little dramatic. Did anyone else feel that? Or was anyone like, well, that could be real? I don't know. I'm curious how other people read that.
So I remember when, what was it, the Olympics were in China and, I don't know, stores were coming out and they had to like pollinate, their, fruit trees by hand because it was so polluted there, right?
Oh.
And,
Oh, interesting.
yeah,
Hand pollinating fruit trees in China because of the pollution.
our future if we don't.
Interesting. I didn't know about that. Yeah, that's horrific.
Yeah, this is new.
They've made a lot of changes since then.
Oh.
Try to clean up their environment. They've implemented a lot of policies and things.
To try to clean it up. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so this might already be happening. To
So they pollinate the plants by their hands?
Yes, they had to pollinate the fruit trees by hand because the insects were gone because it was so, the air was so polluted.
Did you know which kind of insect it was? It was bees
No.
also?
No, I don't know.
No.
what was there that wasn't there anymore.
Mhm.
Because of the
You know,
pollution.
they had to pollinate the trees, the
By
fruit trees
hand.
by hand, in order to keep producing fruit.
I've seen
Mhm.
it doing it on apple trees, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, do they do it with apple trees too? Oh, wow. I know I've had to do it with my squashes lately because, well, and I think a lot of people, well, I think squashes are finicky, but
Yeah.
because I have a lot of pollinators in my garden. I think they just hate my squash.
Squash bugs and,
Well, that, yeah. If I get like one this season, I'll be really happy. But I felt it felt a little, you know what? But I guess if this is already happening, then maybe this isn't so doom and gloom and it's not so dramatic. I shouldn't be poo-pooing.
freaking attention.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Right? So he brought up a lot of suggestions about things that we might do to improve the situation. And, we
That's
should all go
true.
to the government, we should all-
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, but chapter 16 sounded like the most realistic part of the book to me.
The most realistic. I
Mhm.
So what do you recommend?
see, well, now that's the $1,000,000 question. What? I mean, and one of the things yeah, what do you recommend? What are we doing?
About, what?
To avoid chapter 16 where where I had to have planted my fruit trees 10 years ago if I want apples in 30 years and I'm shooting people trying to get into my yard to steal food.
I didn't read chapter
That's-
16.
Well, it was bad. It was bad.
I didn't get into it.
It was
So-
just basically what would a world look like without any insects?
Yeah, this is the point I want to talk. Like, it will be disastrous without insects. In not in the sense that people talk about disease and the things, but like I said, about the food web, about pollination, about decomposers, about many things. But again, insects are so huge in numbers, and I will not think that everybody, if he wakes tomorrow and he will find no roaches, this will
Well, okay.
affect.
We'll have roaches.
Affect. We will have roaches coming on like this, but I think living without insects, it's like it depends. Like I usually say, how do you like to live around insects? It's not how you will live without insects or not. So this is the idea. So if you get used to insects around you and you feel that they are like pets and they are very important to environment, very important for pollination, very important, rather not to do it by hand, because even if they do it in China by hand, it will take a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of things.
Money. Ooh.
So these creatures do whatever we cannot do easily. It's very difficult for myself, in my opinion, to live without. But again, it depends how you want to live as a human being surrounded by insects.
Yeah. Well, and you've talked and brought up a point that like he doesn't talk about at all, which is the decomposition and like the importance. Like there's the pollination piece of the food chain, but there's also just the returning nutrients piece. I hadn't thought about, and the author certainly
This
doesn't
is very
talk about.
important. Yeah, this is very important.
Yeah,
That's why he didn't talk about flies. Maybe the guy, because he's a bee guy.
it's a bee guy.
And yeah, and most of the people related to agriculture and bees and honey and things. So decomposition and parts, we are like we're dealing with things that we saw. If these larvae are not there, dead bodies will be surrounded. Dead cat, dead dog, dead rat, dead anything.
Yeah.
Nothing will eradicate them.
No.
So they are very important part in the composition, in the smell, in detection, anything. So I guess
Yeah.
it's very important. In, like I said, people love to see something they are getting a nice outcome from them. We have to protect bees because pollination and honey. We don't care about larvae and maggots. Okay, because what they do,
Well, now
it's
I care.
filthy, it's smelly, it's something. So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, this is the perception how people could go with.
But
So,
but
yeah.
the author missed that key point.
missed that-
I
that
think you
point.
have a second book. We got a book. I don't,
Everybody missed
with all
that.
your free time.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody missed that part. That's why we said charismatic bias.
Well, that's why
Yeah,
we
it's
have
very
you, the
impressive.
charismatic larva maggot representative.
Yeah, they are so beautiful, especially in magotherapy. Like, but I will not get into detail in that.
You know, I
Yeah.
think we talked, if you were here for us when we read Grunt, I think they also talked about maggot therapy in context of wound healing.
Yeah.
In like a military situation, but we also talked about, I want to say we talked about it in that book. We didn't talk about other expert, that wasn't his expertise, but I think it was in that book. So if you haven't read Grunt, it's a Mary Roach book. It's also, it's everything you think a Mary Roach book is. But they talk about it in there too.
And it's FDA approved.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Oh.
all the people that have diabetic and
Oh, I
venous
didn't know that.
ulcers,
Yeah.
and if they are accepting before amputation to put their certain fly maggots, not all the maggots,
Yeah.
certain fly maggots to be put on the wound, and it doesn't eat the healthy tissue; it only eats the bad tissues.
The bad tissues.
Yeah, yeah,
A question, you grow them specifically for that treatment?
yes.
To
We
grow.
make them sterile. We make it everything. It's like not collecting them from the field and putting on the wound. No,
Yeah.
we sterile them completely in the lab, and they are sold even in hospitals that treat magotherapy, selling sterile maggots. Okay, so it can be used on the wind deployment therapy. So it's the same thing. Like larvae eat the flesh and then pupate. So before it pupates, I remove this group of larvae and I put another group. But it's really very fascinating how it heals the wound, especially in early stage. They have antibacterial, and even the movement of the larvae itself, the movement of the worm itself, it's like somebody's doing a massaging to this part, so it can make it grow. Let the blood grow in this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it have an antibacterial that stop bacteria from growing again on that wound. Yeah, so it's very.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the only bad part, not the bad part, but the only irritating part that you're feeling that maggots are not moving. I don't put it in like on the wound and leave it like this to have fun. No, we just put it in a mesh, and we just put plaster, and it
Oh.
feeds on everything, and we remove it. Yeah.
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 And I'm happy to open it up to Q&A. If anyone has anything they want to ask about the book, about your field. Fascinating, your
Yeah.
field also. Yeah.
So, one thing that we're having problems in Indiana is
Ticks. Ticks are a big problem in Indiana.
Ticks are not insects, right?
they're not in.
They are not insects.
What are
They are arachnids.
they?
So it's the same.
Oh.
It's the same group of scorpions, spiders, and ticks and mites.
And ticks and mites. Okay.
So for any you guys that
we were giving insects a bad name, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
any insects in the world, if you want to know this, whatever you're seeing, it must have 6 legs.
Oh,
The ticks have 8 legs. Yeah,
You don't claim them. You don't claim ticks.
it's an arthropods. It's
Yeah.
ticks, but I know where ticks doing so.
Okay. Well, so then we don't have to protect those. Those aren't. No, I'm
No,
kidding. I'm kidding.
protect
We'll protect.
anything, any
We'll
creature.
protect it. We'll protect the
creature.
ticks. Yeah.
Yeah,
So one of the items that you talked about in the book that I found very impressive was dung beetles.
The dung beetles. Yeah.
oh yeah.
There were no dung beetles, and then there was cow soup everywhere.
Yeah.
So they were-
Yeah, there is very fascinating the dung beetles. Yeah,
that worked out so well, and I was doing it, but the dung beetles apparently were not ideal.
It's almost like we're getting little glimpses into like what would it be like if we just lost this one insect, this one type.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
You have a
That's
species
scary.
here in Muncie. It's called Necrophila americana. It's a dung beetle. That's so fascinating. Like it brings the flesh of the dead body to their babies, and they feed, and then it goes like a bird. Like bringing
oh, it brings
food.
little pieces. Oh, wait,
and,
that's
yeah.
cute.
Yeah, and sometimes if it's a small dead body, like a mice or something, it could grab it and put it in
The whole thing.
in the whole thing, and for their babies to eat.
Oh my God! How
Yeah,
big are
she's
these?
so cute.
So they're big. If they're carrying a
dung
mouse,
beetle?
yeah.
And not so big, like could imagine like this.
So they're strong.
Yeah, they are.
Whew.
They are so fun. Yeah, they are
Oh my
doing
God.
yeah everything. But this is a behavioral act for this dung beetle.
Yeah.
But dung means it feeds on the stool and poop and like things. But they are so nice in dealing with the flesh and the dead bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like a hugely overlooked piece of the insect world, that's missing from this book.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Would you say the majority of entomology is focused on like the bees, the pollinators, the
And
cutesy stuff, and agriculture? So is that where the majority of the field is?
Yeah, it's mostly, but if you read more, there's many specialization like forensic entomology,
Yeah.
the field that I'm working in,
And medical,
and
apparently.
the magotherapy, and you will have like the sound system, the mating between insects, how they
Oh yeah.
do certain songs and like this. Like one of the things I remember now, the what do you call it, the fireflies?
Yeah.
You see it lightning in the garden.
Yeah.
This is another part that you could see a decline if you don't see the lights in a certain space.
Yeah.
If you used to see the lights of the fireflies, this is another point of decline. You could notice like the number is getting down a bit.
Actually,
like the light bulb.
that's
things.
a really good point too.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Actually, mine have been going up lately in my yard, so I'm going to take that as a good sign that I'm not mowing too frequently and that insects are
and
healthy.
the mowing
Is that
it's
has a
mowing,
huge
it
impact?
has a huge impact
Wow.
on the decline
Okay.
also. Like insects need like sometimes a mess in the garden
okay.
or something,
I'll leave
wooden
them.
pieces and like this, so it can grow.
Oh, so they can grow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think broadly that in individual choices we make in our gardens and our
It's
yards,
very important.
that really has an impact?
Yeah, it have to look nice, but some people like grow plants or grow fruits or grow something.
Yeah.
Places for insects to relax or to make anything
Yeah.
like this, so we can stop the decline of it.
So that really has an impact. Just
Yeah.
And even the book talks about, and they're becoming popular, like the wild yards. You just kind of let the wildflowers grow. You don't mow. Okay.
But
that has-
again, certain people, some put fences with certain plants that stop mosquitoes from coming in.
Oh.
But sometimes they do the job, but still if you have water in your garden or something,
Yeah.
babies are gonna develop again. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I saw your hand go up. Sorry.
So, I keep my grass mowed very tall.
Very tall. Yeah.
And we have a lot of light,
perfect.
and I don't see my neighbors with it.
So
Uh,
so it works. So even just mowing it to a higher, like a taller 3.5. Yeah. It's wild to think like that's a small change that's easy to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that can have a huge impact. I also have a ton of lightning bugs, fireflies. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, one of our concerns with the insects is the disease they carry.
Disease. Yeah.
Is the following, as our biology becomes more and more powerful, which is the genetic engineering. So
Ooh.
let's take the malaria mosquito, let's modify it so it doesn't carry the,
So it can't carry the malaria.
but it also is very competitive in the natural environment, so it drives the malaria mosquitoes out. I'm looking at the same thing with ticks too.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Someone get this guy a grant.
So they just do that in Florida? Some of that's pretty dumb.
I think the mosquito. Yeah.
Diseases as we become better at modifying organisms.
Yeah. Is genetic engineering
This is
the
genetic
future?
engineering. That's what we're trying to do, but it's like, yeah, it's working in certain species and it's not working in others.
Oh.
But you have like a mosquito, you have ticks, you have fleas, which is a lot. It's like carrying the bacillus for plague. So most of the sucking, you have the tsetse fly, for example, the glossina, which is, it causes the African sleeping sickness. You have the assassin bugs here, it causes the American sleeping sickness. So all the insects that have like piercing and sucking, like it puts saliva and sucks blood, or the thing. We have to do genetic engineering for all of them. But again, it's like we could stop it, but the most successful one where we're able to stop something by the not genetic engineering in certain species that work by the sterile insect technique, that we don't produce many offspring, so the number of those species
Just
will be
limiting the number.
steady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think the mosquitoes in Florida, it was I think it might have been the sterilized version.
Sterile insect technique, yeah.
I think so. And actually, I will say the love bug population has returned in Florida, which is, if you've been there, huge. There was like a few years there really weren't any. And they used to be, like he describes them with the cicadas, they're just like you drive through a cloud of them and it goes dark. That's how it used to be in Florida with the love bugs. And now they're finally
Yeah.
returning to that like level again, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's like I see it sometimes when I said sometimes insects are using them could be bad, using them as like the terrorist crazy people all around the world that doing harm for people, like by shooting, by killing, by putting belts around them and blowing each other. Like they could use, not use, but insects. If you throw a group of insects on this area, for example, carrying, like you were saying, carrying plague, and the fleas will come, will try to find a host to feed on. They will not find cats, dogs. They will go into a human being and inject the plague in it. And all of this area will be in the hospital because of plague, and some people will die of this and this. So
So there's weapon
we are,
potential
it's,
with insects.
this is what we're teaching
Oh
to
my
stop this.
God.
We have to think the same as they are thinking, the criminals or the
Yeah.
terrorists are like this in genetic engineering, but it's used in a bad way, not in a good way, like you're saying, to stop the transmission of certain disease and things
Oh
like
my
this.
God. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
so it's like